Yes, guys, yes, people, welcome back to Eli Talks Football and welcome to another video. I hope you guys are doing alright today and welcome to your final Premier League predictions show for 2024. This is the last one because we're nearly coming to the end of 2024, so there's 3 days to go and less than 4 days to go until we enter the new year, which is 2025. So this is the last ever prediction show, and it would be great here if I can at least achieve my maximum target, which is getting more than 12 points, because that's the most I've done so far this year, is getting 12 points. So it would be great here if I can end this final prediction show with more than 12 points, because that will make it even better. It would be even great if I can get all of the predictions right, but that would be well and truly impossible. But let's see what happens, man. But let's see what happens. But yeah, this is the final Premier prediction show for 2024. So if you guys are excited to see me doing the predictions for the last time in this year, make sure you click the like button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, which is here below. If you are new to this channel, make sure you share this video to all your friends, to your family. Make sure you hit the bell notification so that you never ever miss any one of my videos. Sorry guys, 1 second. So yeah, and make sure you hit the comment as well, so that you guys can give your predictions as well. If you got plenty of time, and I'll react to them as soon as I can. So make sure you guys like, share, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell notification. So without further ado, let's kick off the last prediction show for 2024. Here we go. So the first game is Leicester City versus Manchester City. So basically two Man City clubs. So obviously Man City drew against Everton, which I did predict, but I did say 0-0, so I at least get a point. For Leicester City though, they have lost 3-1 against Liverpool after they took the lead. So there you go. But listen, man, we're here to talk about Man City because one win in 13, you know. Ever since if the season starts in November, Man City will be in the relegation zone because 13 games, one win, three draws, and 9 defeats. Man City still lost more games here than they've won since November. It is absolutely crazy. But for Leicester City, Ruud van Nistelrooy only one win, and that was against his opening manager game against West Ham. So. But yeah, Leicester City aren't doing too good at the moment because they're in the relegation zone, since Wolves won 2-0 against Man United and out of it. So Leicester City are still in the relegation zone despite Ruud van Nistelrooy being their manager. So there you go. But yeah, Man City are away, but I'll tell you guys one prediction for that one in just a moment. But anyway, here's the stats. Leicester have lost 11 of their last 30 Premier League meetings with Man City, while they haven't kept a clean sheet in any of their last 15 against the Citizens. Man City have won their last 4 Premier League away games against Leicester without conceding a goal. Well, that's not going to happen. In the league history, they've never won 5 in a row away at an opponent while keeping a clean sheet each time. Man City have won 19 of their last 20 Premier League games against promoted sides, including each of their last 10 in a row. They last had a longest such winning run between December 2009 and December 2011, which is 12 times. Leicester City have only lost their final league game in one of their last 5 calendar years, going 2-1 down at Liverpool in 2022. This is the first time they're facing the reigning top-flight champions in such a match since 1974, a 2-0 home defeat to Leeds United. And finally, Man City have only lost their final league game in one of the last 23 calendar years, going 1-0 down at Liverpool in 2016. Well, listen, guys. Leicester City, yes, they've only had one win, but they're in the relegation zone. But for Man City, I mean, they still need to win because Fulham and Aston Villa are on the same points with them. If Man City don't win this game, let's say that they draw or they lose this game, and the likes of Fulham, Aston Villa, and Brighton win their game, Man City could go from 7th to 10th. They will be mid-table, you know. I'm telling you, both Manchester clubs are well and truly in the mud. And to me, if Man City keep on dropping points, then I don't see them yet finishing in the top four, which makes it worse because I can't remember the last time when Man City, ended the season with no trophy and no top and no Champions League. I can't remember, you know. So Man City are well and truly in trouble, you know, because Man City, they're not winning the title because Liverpool are just soaring at the moment. Man City could be potentially a risk of being out of the Champions League, like in the elimination table, if they keep on dropping points. Man City already out of the Carabao Cup, and in the FA Cup, they got Salford City. Now I expect them to win that game, but but imagine if they don't. Like they're well and truly in crisis right now. So listen, going into this game, like I expect Man City to like do something against relegated teams, but look at the likes of Southampton. They just scraped a 1-0 win. Ipswich Town, they just beat them 3-1. Ipswich Town were 1-0 up, at the Etihad, so they're facing Leicester City, which they're in the relegation zone. So for this game, tomorrow on New Year's Eve weekend, I'm gonna go for a draw. I'm gonna go for a draw because honestly, I don't know what's happening to City, and I believe in the last, what is it? Um, like 4 or 5 matches, like Haaland has scored zero, none. Like the only goal that he scored was against Crystal Palace away. You know, I don't know what's happening to Haaland. I don't know what's happening to Phil Foden. Only one goal and one assist for this season. Kevin De Bruyne doesn't like he's the same anymore. Kyle Walker, I feel like he's finished. Like there's so many Man City players out there today. Like, and I'm starting to think here, without Rodri, Man City are in deep trouble. So January is nearly coming up. So if Man City need to get back to winning ways, they need to sort this out in January. They need to spend lots and lots of money on defenders, on probably goalkeepers, and especially another midfielder that can be like Rodri, like a backup. Like Man City all over the place. But yeah, I'm just gonna go for 1-1. Man City's goal scorer probably um, Phil Foden. For Leicester City goal score, I'm gonna go for Jamie Vardy. So yeah, 1-1 draw because honestly, like both like Leicester City relegation zone, Man City 1 win in 13. Yeah, both teams are well and truly in the mud. So yeah, I'm gonna go for 1-1 draw. All right, the next one is Southampton going away to Crystal Palace. So both Palace and Crystal Palace aren't doing well at the moment, but you know, basically, but Crystal Palace are in 16th, so they need to win. They need to win. But anyway, here's the stats for this one. Crystal Palace have won each of their last 3 Premier League games against Southampton, just one fewer than they had in their first 25 against them in the competition. Only, excuse me, only against Aston Villa 7 times have Southampton won more Premier League away games than Crystal Palace, though they are winless in the last 3 visits to Selhurst Park. Crystal Palace have lost just one of their last 30 Premier League home games against promoted sides, going 3-0 down against Fulham in December 2022. Crystal Palace have won their final league game in each 2021, 2022, and 2023. They last did so in 4 consecutive calendar years between 1960 and 1963. And finally, when playing in top flight, Southampton haven't won their final league game of the calendar year since 2002. My God, 22 years ago, which is 2-1 against Sunderland, with Saints drawing 6 and losing 7 since then. When playing their final league game of the away from home all divisions, Southampton haven't lost since 1979 against Oxford United, drawing 6 and losing 10 since. So there we go. But listen, this game is at Selhurst Park. Of course, Palace got destroyed by Arsenal, but let's not kid ourselves. Southampton are really truly awful. They've lost 1-0 against West Ham, which is the new manager's first home game. So despite getting new managers, Southampton are really truly not good enough. So for this game, I'm gonna go for a Crystal Palace win of. I think they're gonna keep a clean sheet, so I'm gonna go for a Palace win of. Hmm, it ain't gonna be easy, but I'm gonna go for a. Should I go for 1-0? Because that was my first thought. Yeah, I'm gonna go for 1-0 Palace. I'm gonna go for 1-0 Palace because they're trying to score goals, But I think they're gonna win this game, and I think they're gonna keep another clean sheet because look at West Ham. You expect them to go to away to St Mary's and beat them, but they haven't. So yeah, I'm gonna go for 1-0 Palace. The only goal scorer, Philip Mateta. That's basically it. So yeah, 1-0 to Crystal Palace is gonna be my prediction. Let's see if Southampton is going to get their first win on their new manager because they drew away against Fulham and they've lost against West Ham. So there we go. So yeah, 1-0 to Palace. But yeah, this game is going to be very, very interesting. Everton facing Nottingham Forest, and you expect both teams to play low block. So this is going to be a very, very interesting game. So I'm going to give you guys my prediction for that one in just a moment. But here comes the stats. All 8 of Everton's Premier League wins against Nottingham Forest have been to nil. Their record when conceding at least once against them is drawing 2 and losing 4. Nottingham Forest have kept just 1 clean sheet in the last 16 league games against Everton, doing so in a 1-0 victory at Goodison Park in January 1999. So that's a year before I was born, so 25 years. Nottingham Forest won 1-0 away against Liverpool in the Premier League this season. In their league history, they've only won away against both Everton and Liverpool once before doing so in 1898 and 1899. Boy, a long time ago. This is the first time Everton are playing their final league game of the calendar year at home since 2015, losing 4-3 to Stoke City back then. In fact, they've only won their last league game in the last 2 of the last 10 years, 2019 against Newcastle and 2020 against Sheffield United. And finally, Nottingham Forest beat Man United 2-1 in the final league game of 2023. Last win in the final league game in consecutive calendar years between 2008 and 2010. Well, listen, going into this game, I think it's been a draw because Everton, let me look at the league table. Because let's see. Yeah, Um, Everton have drawn 3 games in a row, and that's basically teams who were in the title race. They drew against Arsenal, they drew against Chelsea, and they drew against Everton. But for Nottingham Forest, though, in the last 5 games, they've only lost 1. And I think that was against Newcastle. But Forest, look at them now; they're in 4th place. Like, I feel like Forest and Bournemouth are overachieving because I don't think any team would expect Bournemouth and Newcastle to be this good so far this season. But Nuno Espirito Santo, I said this to Sava, I said this to Abby, and I said it to Deji. Look at Nuno Espirito Santo. You guys got rid of him, didn't give him enough chance. Look what he's doing for Forest, got them in 4th place. I don't think they're in the title race. But imagine if Forest finish in 4th place, I feel like that would be the most surprising team of the season because nobody would ever predicted Forest to finish in 4th. Of course, we're halfway through to the season, so anything can change. But Nuno Espirito Santo is doing better for Forest than he did against Wolves and for Tottenham as well. So they're doing fantastically well. And of course, Nuno Espirito Santo did face Tottenham and they beat 1-0. But that's on the City ground. So yeah, going to this game, I feel like this is going to be a draw because I think both teams will play low block. The question is, who would just who will find a way to break against a low block and try and win? Like, if Forest can do that, then I think they'll win. But Everton got draws all over it. Like, they haven't won in the last 4 games. So yeah, I'm seeing this being a draw. So yeah, I'm gonna go for a or should I actually? Everton have kept a clean sheet at home, so yeah, I'm gonna go for a 0-0 draw in this one. Yeah, I'm just gonna go for a 0-0 draw because it's so difficult. I think both teams will keep a clean sheet, but I just think when both teams play a low block, it's so difficult to predict who would do so much better in a low block. So yeah, I'm gonna go for a 0-0 draw. That's going to be my prediction for that game tomorrow. So yeah, Everton nil, Nottingham Forest nil. All right, the next one is Fulham versus Bournemouth. Of course, Bournemouth, drew against Crystal Palace, but for Fulham, they came to Stamford Bridge and beat the Blues for the first time since October 1979, so 45 years. And look at Fulham; they're in eighth place. And like I said, if they win and Man City dropping points, and if they also let's say if Fulham win their game, and let's say the likes of Newcastle, Bournemouth, and Man City drop points, Fulham can go from eighth to fifth. Like this season is very weird. Like Forest in fourth, eight Fulham could potentially be in fifth, but Bournemouth, if they win and Newcastle drop points, they will be in fifth place as well. Like the battle for Europe is going to be very interesting. Like this season is really weird, but anyway, Bournemouth going away to Fulham. So here's the stats for that one. Fulham beat Bournemouth 3-1 in the last meeting between the sides in February. Only once they have won consecutive league games against the Cherries, doing the double for them in 1931 in 32 Third Division South. Bournemouth lost 3-1 in this exact picture last season, having been unbeaten in their previous 8 away games against Fulham between 1993 and 2022. Bournemouth had conceded 87 goals in the 41 Premier League away games against London sides, an average of 2.1 per game. All teams to have played more than 20 such games in the competition, only Norwich and Wigan have a higher goals conceded per game average than the Cherries. Fulham have won their final league game in the last 2 calendar years, beating Southampton 2-1 in 2022 and also by the same score in 2023. Only between 1911 and 1914 have they won their final league game in more consecutive years. And finally, Bournemouth have lost their final league game in 5 of their last 6 calendar years, including all 4 while in the Premier League in that one. The only exception was a 3-0 win against Cardiff for the Championship in 2021. So there we go. But yeah, listen, like I said in my review, Fulham, you got to give them credit because they were the better team against Chelsea. Like Marco Silva made substitutions. Both Wilson and Muniz came on. They made an impact and they've scored. Marco Silva's doing a fantastic job. And and I have to ask, and I want you guys to let me know in the comments down below, which team, like, do you think that Marco Silva will manage a big team? And if you think so, tell me which one. Because if I would have picked a team for Marco Silva to join, I think it would be Tottenham because I don't think Marco Silva will join Liverpool because Roy's doing a good job. The same goes for Arsenal because Mikel Arteta, even though he may not win trophies, he's still in the title race. I don't think he'll go to Chelsea because of the big job, what Resca's doing. Man City, not really because Pep Guardiola is still their best manager. For Man United, I don't think so because this is Ruben Amorim's first ever game and it was going to take time. For me, I would go for Tottenham because Ange Postecoglou is absolutely horrendous. Only one style of play and his team is just keep losing games and don't win trophies. So maybe Marco Silva to Tottenham will not be this bad, but he's doing a fantastic job at the moment. So yeah, listen, going into this game, I feel like Fulham are going to beat Bournemouth like they did last season. So I'm going to go for the same fixture as it was last season. So yeah, I'm going to go for a Fulham 3-1 win against Bournemouth. Fulham's goal scorers, I'm going to go for Harry Wilson to score, Raul Jimenez and also Alex Iwobi to score. For Bournemouth's goal scorer, not quite sure. But yeah, I'm going to go for 3-1 to Fulham because they're doing a fantastic job, especially joining against Arsenal, joining against Liverpool and beating Chelsea. Yeah, Fulham and Marcus Silva are doing a fantastic job. So yeah, I'm going to go for a 3-1 Fulham win against Bournemouth. So there we go. All right, this one is going to be another interesting one because Tottenham are at home against Wolves. Of course, their new manager has kept a clean sheet twice in a row and beaten Man United 2-0. But for Tottenham, like I said, they've lost 1-0 against their former manager Nuno Espirito de Santos. So there we go. So this one is going to be interesting. Tottenham have lost each of their last three Premier League meetings with Wolves, the longest ever loser won against them in the league history. Wolves have won four of their last five league games against Spurs, as many they have in their previous 19 against them combined. Five of Tottenham's eight Premier League defeats against Wolves have come in home games, with Wolves the only side they've lost at home more than two times more than half away in the competition. Tottenham have lost their final league game in one of their last 15 calendar years, though it was a 3-1 home defeat against Wolves in 2018. There you go. And finally, Wolves beat Everton 3-0 in their final league game of 2023. Last winning their match in consecutive calendar years was 2017 against Bristol City and 2018 against Tottenham. Look, listen to this, guys. Yeah, Tottenham are in 12th place. Yeah, Tottenham are in 12th. You know, they have lost 9 games. Yeah, 9 games. The only teams here to lose more than Tottenham is Wolves 11. Excuse me, Wolves 11, Leicester City 10, Ipswich Town 10, and Southampton 14. Those are the only teams here that have lost more games than Tottenham. And those teams are in the relegation zone. Like Tottenham for me, if they keep dropping points here, like like just like I'm gonna get to Man United, but could we see Tottenham here, getting close to the relegation zone? Because if West Ham and Man United win their games, and let's say the likes of Everton and Crystal Palace win, like Everton and Palace will be close to Tottenham, and Tottenham can go from 12th to 14th. Like, that's why to me, yeah, that's why to ask Abby this question, like, are you still Ange in? Because you cannot stick to this guy, the way he's playing and the way your team is in this position, because, like I said, they could go from 12 to 14th. Like, Tottenham could be close to the relegation zone, So that's why to ask Abby that question, and she says he's still Ange in, and that's fair enough. But if I was a Tottenham fan, which thankfully I'm not, I'll sack Ange and I'll bring in Marco Silva straight away. Because Silva's done a fantastic job here than Ange Postecoglou this season. Yes, Fulham may not win the trophy, but Fulham, yes, Tottenham have a better squad, but Fulham are above them, so, but if Abby wants to stick with Ange, let her. But I've asked Deji, I've asked Sava, a few Tottenham fans, and they told me they want Ange out, so that's fair enough to them. But yeah, going into this game, I think, listen, Tottenham, they've conceded so many goals at home, but I don't think Wolves are going to score that much. I don't think they will do, but I just see Tottenham losing another game because like I said, Ange's too stubborn, lose like Tottenham in the last 5 games, they've only had one win. One win. And if I can get this right, I believe Tottenham was their last win. In fact, let me just have a look. If I'm not mistaken, Tottenham's last win was against Southampton away, a team in the relegation zone. Like, it's absolutely horrendous. Like, yeah, Spurs will always be Spursy. But yeah, going into this game tomorrow, I'm going to go for a 2-1 Wolves win. Because I don't think they'll keep a clean sheet like they did against Man United and Tottenham. But Wolves under the new manager is doing really good, They beat Leicester 3-0 and they beat Man United 2-0, So, of course, it's going to be tough for Wolves, but Tottenham Hotspur, especially at home, they just concede so many times. Like, their last home game was against Liverpool, and they let Liverpool score 6 past them. 6. Yeah, Tottenham defensively in December have been shocking. 20th in terms of, goals faced, goal conceded, just everything is just absolutely horrendous for Tottenham. So I feel like they're going to concede another goal. Maybe I'll be very surprised if Wolves can score more than 3 goals. Because I don't think they will do, but I think they're going to win this game. So yeah, 2-1 to Wolves. Goal scorers for Tottenham, probably Heung-min Son. For Wolves goal scorers, I'm going to go Mateus Cunha and Wyke Chan. So yeah, 2-1 to Wolves is going to be my prediction for that game tomorrow. So there we go. And then we move on into the final game of Sunday, which is tomorrow, and it's a Sunday night football, which kicks off at 5:15 in the evening. West Ham welcome Liverpool, and yeah, I'm gonna read out the stats. I'm gonna give you guys my prediction for that game straight away. So here's the stats. West Ham have won just one of the last 60 Premier League games against Liverpool, beating them 3-2 at the London Stadium in November 2021. And I remember that one. Liverpool have scored at least twice in 7 of their last 8 Premier League away games against West Ham, including each of their last 5 in a row. West Ham have won their final home game in 2 of the last 3 calendar years, beating Arsenal 2-0 in 2023. I remember that one because I've spoken to Charlene about that. They've won their last league match in consecutive years, 2007 against United and 2008 against Stoke. Liverpool have lost their final league game in one of their last 10 calendar years, going 1-0 down in Leicester in 2021. And I remember that one because there was a Liverpool fan complaining about that, Trent Alexander-Arnold, not marking down. So yeah, I remember those ones still to this day. And finally, West Ham unbeaten in four Premier League games, lost a longer one without defeat between December and February last season, which is 6 times. They are also looking to win consecutive league games for the first time since March. Well, guess what? West Ham may have been unbeaten in the last 4 games, but they're facing a difficult test because Liverpool are a really good team. And let's not forget, I believe Liverpool faced West Ham in the Carabao Cup and destroyed them 5-1. Like, West Ham are just getting destroyed every single time when they play Liverpool. And West Ham, this season have been put on the Lopetegui. Like, I predicted them to finish in the top 7, but West Ham, just like Man United and Tottenham, they could be close to the relegation zone if they keep dropping points. Like, it's absolutely crazy. So West Ham need to win this game, but for me, it's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. So for this game tomorrow, I'm going to go for a 3-1 Liverpool win. I'm going to go for 3-1 because, just Liverpool just be all over them. So, West Ham, the only goal scorer, probably Jared Bowen. Liverpool's goal scorers, I'm going to go for Mo Salah to score and to get the assist because that's what he does. Gordon Gakpo to score and probably Luis Diaz. So, basically, Liverpool's front 3. So, Gordon Gakpo to score. Luis Diaz to score, and Mo Salah to score, and to get the assist as well. So 3-1 to Liverpool. That's going to be my prediction for that game on a Sunday. So there we go. All right. Then we've got 3 games on Monday the 30th, which is a day before New Year's Eve. So the first one is Aston Villa versus Brighton, of course. Aston Villa lost 3-0 against Newcastle, but the worst situation is that Juan got sent off. Now, many people are asking if that's the right decision. I have to go back and look into the game, but they lost 3-0 against Newcastle away from home, whereas for Brighton, they just drew 0-0 against Brentford yesterday, so there we go. And I think João Pedro was lucky not to get himself red carded for that one, but anyway, here's the stats for that game. Aston Villa lost their Premier League meet with Brighton 1-0 in May, having won 5 in a row against the Seagulls before this. Brighton have won just one of their last 40 Premier League away league games against Villa, losing the last 3 in a row, including the 6-1 loss there last season. Villa are looking to win the final league game in consecutive calendar years for the first time since 2007/8 season, following a 3-2 win against Burnley in the last game of 2023. Brighton have lost their final game of calendar year in just 2 of the last 7 seasons in the Premier League, with both defeats coming in home games against Arsenal 2020 and 2022. And finally, Aston Villa have lost one of the last 40 Premier League home games and are unbeaten in the last 8 at Villa Park since 2-0 loss in Arsenal in August this year, which was a 2-0 defeat. So there we go. But yeah, man, listen. Brighton away from home are looking good. They don't look good away from home sometimes. They're in 10th, they're mid-table. But what I will say is that if Brighton win and the likes of Villa, Fulham, Man City, Bournemouth, and Newcastle drop points, Brighton could potentially go from 10th all the way down into either fifth, sixth, wherever the goal difference is. But Villa, right now, are in ninth place. So if they win, they will be in fifth place, and depending on teams dropping points. So listen, it's at Villa Park. Like I said last season, it was 6-1 to Villa. They absolutely destroyed Brighton. And Brighton don't tend to do good in the final calendar year in the Premier League. So there we go. So yeah, for this game on Sunday, I'm gonna go for a 3-1 Villa win. Because despite losing Joanne, they still got Ollie Watkins, they still got Emi Martinez, they still got John McGinn, all of these great players. So yeah, I'm gonna go 3-1. So yeah, for this one, since Joanne is sent off, and I feel like you know, maybe if that's the right decision, I think Ollie Watkins will score twice, and I believe John McGinn will score. Brighton's goal scorer, I'm going to go for Ivan Ferguson to score. So yeah, 3-1 to Aston Villa is going to be my prediction. Villa Park is a difficult place to go to for Brighton. And Villa, they may lost away against Newcastle, but at Villa Park, they always do good. So yeah, 3-1 to Villa. All right, the next one is my team, 2-1 to Chelsea, of course. Chelsea lost their game in November lost their game for the first time since the Liverpool game in October 20th. So there we go. But yeah, I'm going to quickly read out the stats for this one. Ipswich have won just one of the last 40 league games against Chelsea and are winless in the last 7 against the Blues since a 1-0 home win in August 1993. So 30 years ago since that happened. Chelsea have played more Premier League away games without ever winning against Ipswich than they have in any opponent, though 4 of the last 5 visits at Portman Road have finished level. So there we go. Um, sorry guys. Just had to do something. Ipswich are unbeaten in the final league game in each of their last 4 calendar years. They've won their last 2 such games in the Premier League, beating Spurs 3-0 in 2000 and Sunderland 5-0 in 2001. So that's the year I was born. Chelsea are unbeaten in the final league game in each of the last 12 calendar years since a 3-0 home loss to Aston Villa on New Year's Eve in 2011, which is 13 years ago. And finally, Chelsea are unbeaten in all 5 occasions when they face a promoted side in the final league game of the calendar year, though the only time they failed to win was a 2-2 draw at Ipswich in 2000. This is the third consecutive year they finished with a such match, 2-0 Bournemouth in 2022 and 3-2 versus Luton last year. So there we go. But listen, I'm not going to talk about this too much because I'm going to save it for my preview that will be out tomorrow. But listen, man, we have to bounce back. We have to, because we've drawn against Everton and we lost 2-1 against Fulham. And this is why I've been telling people we're not in the title race. But I'm going to save this on for later. But listen, I'm just hoping that we can bounce back, because Ipswich Town away is going to be difficult, but we went to Leicester City, relegation zone, beat them. We went to Southampton away, 5-1, beat them, So, of course, Arsenal, I watched their game yesterday. They've only beaten Ipswich Town 1-0, but that's the fact that Saka was injured and their attack hasn't been, scoring like loads of goals like they usually do. So there we go. But yeah, this game is going to be difficult. But yeah, this one, we have to win. There is no excuses. No excuses whatsoever. So yeah, for this game on Monday, sorry, I'm going to go for a 2-1 Chelsea win, because I feel like Fulham will just make it difficult for us. But I feel like every game is difficult. So yeah, this is the first time we're playing against Ipswich Town since 1993. So yeah, it's going to be difficult, but I'm just hoping that we can win this game. So yeah, I'm going to go for 2-1. Ipswich Town's goal scorer, I mean, if if Omar Hutchinson scores, that'll make it like imagine if Ipswich Town beat us and Omar Hutchinson scored those goals. That would just make it even worse, and that would just make my nightmare even worse as well. But yeah, I'm gonna go 2-1 Chelsea. Hopefully, Amar Hutchinson doesn't score, but I think Liam Black will score. And Chelsea's goal scorers, I'm gonna go for Palmer and Enzo Fernandez this time because I don't think Nicholas Jackson will score. So yeah, 2-1 to Chelsea. Hopefully Chelsea can score more than that, but Ipswich Town away, always difficult, man. Always difficult. So yeah, 2-1 to Chelsea. It's going to be my prediction on Monday. Then the final game on Monday, which is the final Premier League game of 2024, because there will not be anyone on Tuesday, which is of course New Year's Eve, is Manchester United versus Newcastle United. Of course, Man United are are in 14th right now because of that 2-0 loss against Wolves. But for Newcastle, they beat Aston Villa 3-0 and in the table they're in 5th place. Listen, I would love Man United to do something, but don't think that's going to happen. But anyway, here's the stats for this one real quick. Man United have lost just one of the last 39 home league games against Newcastle, going 1-0 down in December 2013 under David Moyes. Newcastle have won two of the last 3 Premier League games against Man United, as many they had in their previous 16 against them. Man United have lost their last game of 2023 against Nottingham Forest. They've not lost their final league game in consecutive calendar years since 1985 against Everton and 1986 against Norwich. Newcastle haven't won their final league game in any of the last 7 calendar years since beating Nottingham Forest 3-1 in the Championship in 2016. The last such Premier League victory was 2014 against Everton, which was 3-2. And finally, no team has lost more Premier League games since the start of December than Manchester United. They lost more league games in the calendar year month back in September 1962, which is 5 times. So there you go. So Man United lose this game, they will equal that record in September 1962, which will be 63 years ago. So there we go. But yeah, man, I'm not sure what's happening to Man United right now because they've lost 8 games, In the last 5 games, their only win was against Man City. Like 1 win in 5 is not good enough. Like for me, Man United, yeah, if they don't win this game, Everton and Crystal Palace, if they win those games, they'll be 2 points behind them. I'm telling you, Man United are well and truly closer to the relegation zone than they are on the top. I remember where Troops did that famous when Arsenal in this position. Um, we are 15th. We are 15th. We are 15th, sir. We are 5 points above the relegation. We are closer to the bottom than the top. And listen, that could happen. That could potentially be happen because if Leicester City beat Man City and if Man United lose their game, they'll still be in 14th, but they'll be 5 points above the relegation. They'll be closer to the bottom they are on the top. So there we go. But for Newcastle, if they win their game, they'll still be in 5th place, but they will not be closer to Forest because Forest are on 34 points. So there we go. But Newcastle, if they don't win, they could potentially go from 5th back down to ninth, depend if the likes of Villa, Fulham, Man City, and Bournemouth win their games. So listen, I feel like it's a must-win game for Man United because surely things cannot get worse than this. Surely it cannot. So, but listen, man, it's at Old Trafford. Bournemouth went there and beaten them. 3-0. So for me, Newcastle. I mean, sometimes away from home they're not that great, but my nights are just worse. But yeah, let me check Newcastle's last away game. It was against Ipswich Town. Oh yeah, 4-0. But yeah, Alexander Isak is on good form. Gordon as well. Like Newcastle are really truly good. So yeah, for this game, I mean, yeah, and let's not forget Newcastle beat Tottenham. They beat Arsenal. They drew against Liverpool. They drew against Man City as well. the only big six team yet to beat Newcastle so far this season is Chelsea. That's basically it. So Newcastle is a tough team, but yeah, man, Man United, I don't know what's going on with them, but I seen it's been another loss. So for this game on Monday, I would love Man United to do something because I don't want Newcastle to catch Chelsea, but I'm gonna go for a 2-1 Newcastle win. I'm gonna go for 2-1 because yeah, I don't because I'm looking at Man United's next couple of games, and let me just tell you what they are because it is it is painful if you're a Man United fan. But look at this, guys. Listen to this. Man United's next games in the Premier in a couple of games: Newcastle at home, Liverpool away, Arsenal away in the FA Cup. Man United have got three difficult games. Three. Then after that is Southampton, which they will win. But after that, they've got Brighton, they've got Rangers at home, then they go away to Fulham, Then they're like honestly, then after that is Fulham away, FCSB, don't know any of that team away in the Europa League, Crystal Palace at home, then Tottenham away. Like Man United have got some difficult fixtures. They really have. So Ruben Amorim needs to fix this up. And Bruno Fernandes, the fact that he got 3 red cards in one single season, like for me, I don't think he deserves to be the captain anymore. You got to give it to somebody else because he got a red card against Tottenham at home. He got a red card away against Porto in the Europa League, and he got a red card away against Wolves. Like, it's embarrassing. I can't remember a player here that got 3 red cards here in one season. It's embarrassing. Like, I feel like Bruno Fernandes have got the most red cards so far this season. Let me just have a look. Yeah, look at he's got the same as Jack Stevens, but Bruno Fernandes, the captain, 2 red cards, which is equal the most so far this season. It is embarrassing. It really is embarrassing. So yeah, Bruno Fernandes will miss this game because he got 2 yellow cards instead of a straight one. But yeah, man. But listen, without Bruno Fernandes, my United are still horrible. They really are. So Ruben Amorim needs to fix this. But let's see what he can do. But yeah, I'm going to go for 2-1 Newcastle. My United's goal scorer, probably Xerxes. Newcastle's goal scorers, I'm going to go for Anthony Gordon to score and Alexander Isak to score. So yeah, 2-1 to Newcastle. Could have been my prediction for that game. And then we move on into the first Premier League game of 2025. Like I said, Man United to Newcastle's game will be the last Premier League game of 2024. There will be no games on Tuesday because of New Year's Eve, but there will be a Premier League game on New Year's Day of 2025. So we have got a London derby, Brentford versus Arsenal. Of course, Brentford lost a game at home when they faced Nottingham Forest. Arsenal, they beat Ipswich Town by 1-0 just about. They're in second place for now, so yeah, Arsenal doing a fantastic job. But here is the stats for the final game. Oh, they haven't done that yet. Okay, well, anyway, but all I know is that ever since Brentford beat Arsenal 2-0 in the first game of 2021, Arsenal remain unbeaten against Brentford. Usually, in the Carabao Cup and the Premier League, it's always 1-0 to Arsenal. We kept the clean sheet, so there we go. But listen, Brentford, can they bounce back from that home defeat against Nottingham Forest? And also, their last game, they drew against Brighton. So there we go. But listen, going to the community stadium ain't that easy. It really ain't. But for me, I feel like Arsenal will get the job done, but it's going to be a difficult test because before Forest have beaten them, Brentford have just scored so many goals, like 3 or 4 or 5 times, and they've won games. So still going to be difficult for Arsenal, but I feel like they just are getting back to being this title race talk. So yeah, it's going to be difficult for Arsenal, but they've won their final game of 2024. Yesterday against Ipswich, and I believe they will start 2025, their first game of 2025, with a win as well, and another clean sheet. So for this game on Wednesday, which is the first game of 2025, New Year's Day, I'm going to go for an Arsenal 1-0 win against Brentford. And the only goal scorer for me is going to be Kai Havertz, and that's basically it. So yeah, 1-0 to Arsenal. They're going to win another game, keep a clean sheet, and they'll still be in second place for me. So there we go. So yeah, 1-0 to Arsenal is going to be my prediction for that game on New Year's Day. All right, guys. So that is all my predictions. Let me go for them one more time. So, tomorrow's games, I've gone for a draw between Leicester City and Man City, which is 1-1. They've gone for Crystal Palace 1-0 win against Southampton. They've gone for a goalless game between Everton and Nottingham Forest. They've gone for Fulham 3-1 win against Bournemouth. They've gone for Wolves to beat Tottenham 2-1 at White Hart Lane. They've gone for Liverpool 3-1 win against West Ham, at the London Stadium. The Monday's games, I've gone for a Villa 3-1 win against Brighton, Chelsea to beat Ipswich Town 2-1, the Newcastle to beat Man United 2-1 in the final Premier League game of 2024. Then the first Premier League game of 2025, I've gone for an Arsenal 1-0 win against Brentford in a London derby at the GTEC Community Stadium. So that is all my Premier predictions for the final prediction show for 2024. So guys, I would just like to say a massive thank you to each and every one of you that have watched all of my prediction show for this year's 2024. I may have not done all of them, but the ones I can do, I hope you guys enjoyed it. So listen, it would be great for me if I could end my final prediction show with more than 12 points, because that's the maximum I've got so far ever since I done this show 3 years ago. So I don't think it's going to happen, but I would love it to happen. So there we go. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed it. All the episodes, all the predictions, all the reactions to it as well. And don't worry, in 2025, there'll be many more to come. So don't miss it. And yeah, make sure you guys are hitting the like button. If you enjoyed this video and the rest of the prediction show I've done so far in 2024, make sure you hit the subscribe button, because like I said, there's plenty more of this to come since we're halfway through into the season. So there we go. Make sure you share this video to all your friends and your family so that they can watch this video, give their opinions, and also give their predictions as well. Make sure you comment below if you got plenty of time. I'll react to them. I'll react to your comments as soon as I can. So thank you guys for watching the prediction show for 2024. Thank you for your comments as well. I've seen so many of them saying you're doing a fantastic job. Keep up the good work. You're good at this. You really are good at predictions. Like, you guys have been the best. So thank you guys so much. Well, guys, that is it. The final Premier prediction show for 2024. So, guys, enjoy the rest of your games, and I'll see you guys later on tomorrow for the final match preview for Chelsea game this year. So that will be released tomorrow. So make sure you guys tune into that one. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your games, and I'll see you guys again very, very soon. As always, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And as always, up the shows. Peace.